Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 18th of October, 2023. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1. There's a bit of a roller coaster ride today on the share market. They went up, then down, then up again before falling and sharply rising late in the day. Eventually, they finished about 0.3% higher at 7,077 points, which was actually the day's high. By the end of it all, there wasn't a lot of movement among the top stocks. The banks were mixed. The big retailers and Telstra were lower. The iron ore companies were solid. Among the large caps, the energy groups, Woodside and Santos, were among the best performers. So too QBE Insurance. Newcrest Mining's share price fell 6% after it traded ex-dividend. What's that mean? Well, if you bought a Newcrest share yesterday, you would have received, or at least you will receive, the June half-year dividend. If you bought it today, you won't. In corporate news, Credit Corp's share price tumbled 30% after the group cut its profit guidance by 58% after it had to write off some US assets. AMP said AMP Bank expects subdued growth on the back of a highly competitive mortgage market. AMP share price closed down 1%. And Liontown Resources has been in a trading halt ever since one-time bidder Albemarle pulled out. It will stay in a halt at least until tomorrow after it asked for more time to sort out funding for its Kathleen Valley mine. Story number 2, China's economy grew at a faster than expected pace in the third quarter, according to figures released today. Gross domestic product grew at just under 5% between July and September compared to a year earlier. It was faster than expected, but slower than the 6% expansion in the second quarter. On a quarter-by-quarter basis, GDP grew 1.3% in the third quarter, accelerating from a revised 0.5% in the second quarter, and the rate was above the forecast of growth of 1%. All in all, pretty good news. Those figures helped a bunch of local stocks and some commodity prices. Iron ore, for example. Oil was higher on the back of greater fears around the Middle East crisis. More on that in a moment. So too gold. The Aussie dollar is trading close to 64 US cents. Story number 3, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese today met with his Fijian counterpart, Sitiveni Rabuka, and following the discussions, the Pacific PM signalled a more realistic tone from the region over Australian coal mining and gas production. Some of the Pacific nations are among the hardest hit by climate change and have been critical of Australia's mining sector. Rabuka said he understood that fossil fuel industries can't be shut down immediately, and he recognises the importance of fossil fuel income to Australia. But he added that should help the federal government's ability to assist poorer nations. The two exchanged rugby shirts yesterday. Ouch. Fiji did much better than Australia in the Rugby World Cup. They'll meet again at next month's Pacific Islands Forum in the Cook Islands. Story number 4, Origin Energy, which is under takeover offer, has upped its earnings guidance, which will put pressure on bidders Brookfield and EIG to increase their offer. It's very nice timing for shareholders. Last week, Brookfield and EIG got approval from the ACCC for the bid on the basis that the deal improves Australia's green energy prospects. Now it has to go to shareholders. The bid's $18.7 billion, but if the energy giant's making more money, then maybe shareholders will want a higher bid. And story number 5, hundreds of people, possibly 500, were killed in a strike on a Gaza hospital overnight. Gazan health officials said the explosion was caused by an Israeli airstrike, but the Israel Defense Forces said it was a rocket fired by a Palestinian group that misfired. The attack triggered anger in the international community, with leaders from several countries damning the action. US President Joe Biden said he was outraged, while Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said the bombing was deeply distressing and he called for international law to be upheld. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said it was a hideous war massacre. The better news is that Israel appears to have crept back from a full-scale ground invasion into Gaza, or at least hit pause ahead of Biden's visit in the next 24 hours. The US has increased its military strength in the region. Meanwhile, an Israeli airstrike killed a senior Hamas leader, while there was an exchange of fire between Hezbollah and Israel in the north of the country. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 18th of October, 2023. Michael Thompson, Adam Lang and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Thursday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.